Hi, I'm Alexandria Crow, and this is Giselle Mari, and today we're going to do a 20-minute core sequence. We're going to do a sequence that's focused on all the muscles of your core. So we're always so interested in the muscles of the front of our abdomen that you can see in the mirror. But today we're going to focus on the entire torso, all the muscles that wrap around your waist and even into your upper back. So not only will you get that front body in the mirror core work that you're always looking for, but also a little bit of back body so you can stand up taller and use your core more effectively. So today, let's start with you laying on your back. So come to Shavasana, just laying flat on your back, legs a little bit wider than hip distance, and then you're going to bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your abdomen. So straight away, taking one hand to the belly center, just to start to explore the muscles that you use when you are breathing, and they're part of your core. So starting to feel as the inhale moves in, the belly lifts up a little bit, your waist expands, and then the chest lifts up, and there's almost a little bit of activation even into the upper back from there. And then as you exhale out, all the muscles draw back in towards the midline, and there's this little gentle pull in of the very bottom part of your abdomen at the base of the exhale. I'm just connecting to that right away. And then drawing the breath even a little bit deeper and a little more full, and then letting the exhale out be more complete and mirroring the inhale. So your core is a really strong portion of your body. It's something that responds very quickly when you use it. So today, just keeping that in mind, and then just knowing that core work is really strenuous. A lot of the time it can be really, really hard. So taking breaks where you need them, and allowing yourself a little bit of time for this to strengthen. And then from here, you can blink your eyes open at this point and put your arms alongside of you. Bend your knees and put your feet hip distance apart on the floor. So just straight away, starting to use the muscles that you were just using when you were breathing. I want you to interlace your fingers behind your head. Keep the feet planted hip distance. Keep the back of your pelvis flat on the mat. I want you to take a full and deep inhale, and then as you exhale, lift your chest up off of the mat, keeping the elbows wide, the collarbones wide. Good. And then inhale, lower yourself halfway back down again. Good. And then exhale, lift up, pull the chest up. Good. And then inhale to lower, just 5 times, and then exhale, belly down, chest up, collarbones wide. Good. Last 2, inhale down, exhale, lift up, widen the chest. Good. Inhale, lower. Last one. Exhale, lift the chest up, pull the navel in. Good, and then inhale, lowered all the way down to the mat, and hug your knees into your chest. So just straight away, creating a little bit of fire in the belly center, and just connecting to the muscles of at least the front part of the core. And then from here, take a little rock, maybe 1 or 2 small ones, and then a big one, and all the way up and over to all 4s. And once you're on all 4s, have your hands shoulder distance apart, spread the fingers wide, knees under your hips, and then toes pointed. Okay. And then from here, Giselle, you take your hand to your belly. And I want you just to let go. Let the belly drop down, and just feel what that feels like. It completely destabilizes your low back. There's no support there, and frankly, it just feels kind of icky. So how about from here, starting to engage the abdominal muscles. Pull the navel in towards your spine so that it neutralizes your back. And then once you feel that, hand goes back down. And I want you to keep those muscles engaged so that your spine feels like it's long and lengthened and really neutral. And then from there, lift your right leg up and back. Have your right toes face straight down, flex through your heel. Good. And then from there, let your inner thigh roll up to the ceiling a little bit more. Good. And squeeze your outer left hip in. And then it's really easy, as soon as you raise the leg up, to lose the belly. I want you to keep the abdomen pulling in, the tailbone reaching back. And then from here, you're going to start to use now the muscles all the way around your torso, and stretch your left arm alongside your left ear. Good. Tricep wraps down. Now feel the waist lift up towards your spine. The inner right thigh roll up, the outer left arm roll down, and now without sinking into your low back at all, I want you to stretch your left fingers a little further forward and your right heel a little bit further back. And then continue with the cycle of breath. It's really easy to hold your breath in core work. Keep the breath moving smoothly. And on your next exhale, set your left hand down and set your right knee down. And we'll take the other side. Right, so from there, stretch the left leg back, lift from your inner thigh so the hip joints are completely neutral, there's no rotation happening. Pull the navel in enough to support your low back without allowing it to round your upper back too much. And then from there, float the right arm up alongside your right ear. Good. And keep the outer right arm rolling down. Inner left thigh leading the way up to the ceiling, so you're neutral. The waist lifting so that you're supporting your spine and working the core. And now take the 2 points away from each other. Heel back, fingertips forward. And then again, add the breath. Make sure that it hasn't gotten choppy. It's moving fluidly. And then set it down. Right arm comes down, left knee comes down. And then from here, I want you to tuck your toes and lift your hips up and back and take it to downward facing dog. Right, and then just pedal your feet out for a moment. It always feels good when you get to down dog, just to give it a little bit of movement before we start to work. And then knees can straighten out. Press the thighs back. And then here in down dog, the belly's fairly relaxed. The navel pulls back towards the spine all on its own. You don't really have to do much for that to happen. But from there, you can start to work the abdomen a little bit more. I want you to inhale and shift yourself forward to plank pose. Bring your shoulders forward over your wrists. Good. And once you're here, there's a huge amount of core work in this plank. So hands pressing evenly, outer arms drawing in for support. That same idea you just did on all fours. Waist pulling up to support the lowest part of your spine. Then also add the legs, thighs pressing up so your knees are straight and your heels drawing back. That same idea of length you just did on all fours. And then from here, exhale and just press back to downward facing dog for a moment. And then let's add a little bit of extra core work now. So inhale, shift yourself forward to plank pose again. This time pick your right foot up off of the mat. Keep your hip joint neutral like you just did on all fours again. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, pull your right knee in towards your chin and round your back. Good. Keep your shoulders stacked directly over your wrists. Scoop the abdomen up towards your spine, almost like you were hollowing it out. And then keep your upper body in plank. Then stretch your right leg back, so now you're in plank with the leg up. Pause for an inhale, and then exhale. Bring your right knee to the back of your right arm. Good. Same thing. Shoulders stay square. Weight is even in the hands. Abdomen scooping towards your spine. Good. Now inhale. Stretch the right leg back again. Exhale. Take the twisted version. Right arm to the left, right knee to the left arm. Good. Twist from the core center. Still the same thing. Squareness in the shoulders. Even weight in the hands. Good. Now keep the upper body where it is. Stretch the right leg back so you're in plank with the leg up. Set your right foot down on the mat and press back to downward facing dog. Good. And then pedal your feet out again. Just a little bit of movement. So a lot of activation. Give yourself a little pause. Good. Okay, and then both knees straight again, and we'll take the left side. All right, inhale, shift forward to plank. Okay, and then once you're there, left foot goes up. Take an inhale once you're there, and then exhale, pull the left knee in towards your chin and round your back. So think, I'm going to puff my upper back up to the ceiling, scoop your abdomen up towards your spine, weight even in the hands, outer arms still firm. Now inhale, stretch your left leg back, and then this time exhale and bring your left knee to your right, or left tricep, not the right. Left. That one's coming. And once you're there, squareness in the shoulders again. Inhale, stretch your left leg back. And then exhale, left knee to right tricep. Twist from the core center, not from the shoulder girdle. So you're really using the obliques here. Stretch the left leg back, set it down, and press yourself back to downward facing dog. Good. All right. And then from here, let's give the front body a little bit of a rest. So inhale, shift yourself forward to plank. And this time, exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. All right, uncurl your toes. So like we were talking about before, the core isn't just your abdomen, this part we all see in the mirror. It's also muscles up your spine and of your upper back. So from here, I want you to have your feet hip distance apart, spread through your toes. And I want you to reach your arms alongside your ears. And put your forehead all the way down on the mat. Good. And so starting with the right leg from the inner thigh again, so your hip stays neutral, I want you to lift your right leg up off of the mat a few inches. And then from there, I want you to start from the inner arm to lift your left arm up off of the mat. Good. Now add a little bit of the chest as well as the head up off of the mat and lift the gaze. Good. So work the muscles of the upper back. Think tailbone lengthening to the backs of the heels by working the hamstrings a little bit. And then lifting with the inner thigh. Lift the right leg any amount higher, but also stretch it back. And then lift the left arm any amount higher, but also stretch it forward. So you're creating length as well as height. Then take one more breath, and then lower it all the way down. Then take a pause. And then start with the left leg from the inner thigh. Lift your left leg up off of the mat, spread through the toes, and then lift your right arm. And then once you're up, instead of thinking too much about height, think more about length. So reach the heel back, the fingertips forward, and then isolating into the upper back and the muscles running up your spine. Use those to take your back ribs in and lift your chest any amount more. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way down. And keep the arms extended. Now turn your palms to face one another. And bring your legs all the way together this time. Spread through the toes. And keep your frontal hip points pressing down into the mat. And then on an inhale, using your inner arms and your inner thighs again, inhale, lift yourself up. Shalabhasana with the arms out. Good. And then once you're there, work the hamstrings a good amount. So you're creating length here. And then to get into the core, start to work the muscles up your spine, especially between the shoulder blades, to lift the chest a little bit higher. Good. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way down. Now feet hip distance apart and bring your hands underneath your elbows. And spread the fingers wide. Press your palms down firmly. Now create a little bit more anchor into the toes. Reach them down and back. And then as you inhale, instead of thinking up, I want you to think chest reaching forward to the front of your mat and then lifting up off of the mat. So inhale, pull the chest forward, then lift it up slightly, just a low cobra. And once you're there, let your neck be an extension of your upper back, so not looking too high. And then work the muscles right between the shoulder blades again to lift and widen. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way back down. And let's do that again. Hands under your elbows. Don't go anywhere. Here we go. Inhale, pull your chest forward and lift it up. Good. Now this time, work the upper back muscles so much and the toes down and back into the mat so much that maybe your hands get a little bit light. Good. And then take one more breath. Smooth, calm, even breath. And exhale. Lower yourself all the way down. Keep your hands where they are. In fact, move yours a little bit further forward. Good. And then once you're there, knees straight. We'll go all the way to upward facing dog this time. So first, get the toes to reach down and back. Take the chest, start to peel it forward very slowly. Go towards cobra, work the upper back, then straighten the arms all the way out. And then once you're there, hands pressing. And again, working the upper back, the core muscles of the back body to lift the chest up, to take the shoulder heads back. And then keep your knees straight, curl your toes under, and press back to downward facing dog. And then from here, look forward and hop all the way through to laying on your back. And once you're on your back, hug your knees into your chest. All right, so we'll switch back, switching back to front body. Okay, so I want you to keep your right knee hugged in and reach your left leg out and hover it above the mat, just a few inches. If you have low back issues, the extended leg can go all the way down on the mat. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Just take an inhale. As you exhale, keeping the collarbones wide, lift your chest up off of the mat. Do a little bit of a crunch. Once you're there, reach your arms out. Again, if you have neck issues, the hands can stay behind your head. On an inhale, stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, lower your right leg down to meet your left. And then inhale, bring the right leg straight back up. Good. Again, exhale, lower. Inhale to lift. Keep the chest up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, legs straight back up. Two more. Exhale, take it down. Stay with it. Good. Inhale, take it up. You've got it. Last one. Exhale it down. Inhale, take it up. Exhale to lower. Fingers come behind your head now. Look up for a little added bonus. Lift and hug your knees into your chest. Take a pause. Good. So the breath can get really short. I want you to find your even, steady breath you had at the beginning. And then just know, core gets strong really quickly. Right, left knee, hug it in. Right leg, hover it. Fingers come behind your head. Take a full inhale. Exhale, lift your chest up. Reach your arms out. On an inhale, stretch your left leg up towards the ceiling. Good. Exhale, lower your left leg down to meet your right. And inhale, bring it straight back up. Again, exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Stay with the breath. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Last two. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. This time, exhale, lower it, keep it down. Fingers behind your head, look up, lift your chest 1 more inch. Hug your knees in and pause. And take a little rock side to side, forward to back, let it go for a moment. And then stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Let's work the lowest portion of the abdomen, the hardest part to get to. Right? Fingers come behind your head. So the temptation here is to use a lot of momentum, to let the legs come towards your head. Instead of doing that, I want you to think about reaching right through the centers of the feet and taking them up to the ceiling as you also lift your chest. So take an inhale. As you exhale, belly pulls down, hips and chest go up. Good. Inhale, lower it down 5 times. Exhale, lift it. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, down. Last 2. Exhale, up. Good. Inhale, down. Try to resist the motion. Exhale. Inhale. This time, exhale. Take it up. Hold it. Keep breathing. Reach your arms up without bringing the 2 points together. Try to take everything up just a little bit higher and hug your knees into your chest. Very, very nice. And pause and breathe again. So next one. There are the muscles, the obliques. They wrap around the center of your body. They bring the waist in towards the midline. So we're going to repeat a similar thing to what we did before. So keep your right knee hugged in and reach your left leg out. Fingers will go behind your head the same as they did before. You'll take an inhale. As you exhale, twist left elbow to right knee. Once you're there, reach your arms. Interlace everything but the index finger and thumb. Inhale, stretch your right leg up. Exhale, lower your right leg down to meet your left. Inhale, straight back up. Exhale, lower it. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. Keep it low. Stay there. Turn your chest to center. Split your arms apart. Take your fingers behind your head. Added bonus, look up, lift. Hug your knees in. Pause. All right, good. So last side of these, and then we'll come up. Do one more thing. Right, left knee in, right leg out. Fingers come behind your head. Take an inhale. Exhale to twist it. Reach your arms out, interlace. Breathe. Left leg up for the inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, straight back up. Just 3 times. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Good. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift it up. And exhale, lower. Center, arms apart, fingers behind. Lift your chest, hug your knees in. All done. Good. Okay, so last thing. I want you to rock yourself up to sitting. And I'm going to give you some blocks. So once you're here, I'm going to set these blocks up right next to you. Put that one next to you. And you can have them on the low side or the high side. It doesn't matter. But I want you to find Navasana or boat pose. And we're going to do it with bent knees today. It accesses the core just a little bit better. So put your feet on the floor, bring them all the way together, and then hands to the backs of the thighs. And keeping the chest lifted and wide, I want you to shift back any amount to get your feet to rise up. And then keep the chest up. Reach your arms forward. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you're going to lower down. Ardha Navasana. Shoulders and feet stay a couple inches off of the mat. On your next inhale, lift it back up. Good. Put your hands on the blocks. Cross your ankles in front of one another. Pull the lowest part of your belly in, round your back, and inhale. Pick yourself up. Good. Exhale, set it down. Navasana again. Bent knees. Lower down, Ardha. Inhale, straight back up. Just 3 times. Come on, you got it. Good. Reach. Cross the ankles the weird way. Put your hands on the blocks. Inhale. Pick it up. Exhale. Set it down. Last one. Hold. Reach. Exhale to lower. You can grab the backs of your legs on the way back up if you need it. Inhale. Lift it up. Very good. Hands to the blocks. Cross it. This time, pick it up. And you'll step back to plank. Good. Move the blocks out of the way and move through a traditional vinyasa. And you'll give yourself a big pat on the back and look forward and hop all the way through to laying on your back. And you'll give yourself a nice reward. Right? So it's really important after you've done a lot of core work to get rid of kind of that over-engagement of the belly. So feet hip distance apart, bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. Right? And she's going to love this part. You're just going to lift her hips. You're going to set yourself up in a supported bridge. So place the block right underneath your sacrum. So it's the widest, flattest part of your low back. Feet will stay hip distance. And then she's just going to relax here. It's going to open her psoas, open some of the muscles of her abdomen. and it's going to feel, frankly, really, really good. And it'll leave you with that tall posture instead of rounding you forward, which kind of overworking your core can do. And then just for a little added bonus, I want you to bend your right knee into your chest a little bit. Reach down. I want you to grab the outer edge of your right ankle. And then keeping the ankle in line with the outer edge of the shin, I want you to tuck your toes under and place the foot down on the mat. Right? So if you have knee stuff, if you have any sort of ankle thing going on, just skip this part. It can be a little bit injurious to the knee. But if you don't, this is an amazing psoas opener, and it'll feel really good after the core work you've just done. And so it's important to give yourself a little reward after working that hard. Okay, and then release that and take the other side. Left knee comes in, reach down, hook the outer ankle, keep the toes pointed, place the foot down. And then inner thighs, they roll down towards the mat so the knees stay in line with the hips. Just a few breaths, so softening, starting to use the exhales a little bit more to relax. Good. And then release that. Bring your knee up, lift your hips up, remove the block. And you give your knees a good hug into your chest. And then once you've had them hugged in for a moment, if you need to do a little bit of circling on your low back, do. And then reach down and grab the outer edges of your feet and just take happy baby pose for a moment. Pull the knees down, flex through the ankles, just because it can feel really good. And then give your knees one final hug into your chest. Give yourself a huge pat on the back, and then stretch your legs out in front of you and find Shavasana. Set it up, feet a little wider than hip distance, palms up, arms wide enough so that you can let the inner hand roll up to the ceiling. And then soften, let go of the breath, and give yourself the reward of a little bit of quiet after such an amazing amount of strengthening and core work. Just find your breath again, one hand to your heart and one to your belly, just the same way you began. And when you feel awake enough to move a little bit more, stretch your arms back overhead. Bend your knees, put your feet on the floor. And roll off to your right side. Go slowly. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Cross legs. And Sitting up tall, join your hands together in front of your heart. And lift your chest up. And exhale, bow your chin down. And lift your chin. And open your eyes. Namaste.